to be given what I need. I let go of what I am to become what I might be. I release concern and stress, knowing God will guide this day. I release disease and pain to be shown a healing way as I'm blessed with greater good. I no longer need control through the energy of faith. I am enlivened and made whole in my mind. All worry fades to completely disappear. In this wisdom I now am, there can't live no grief appear. I'm transformed with inner peace, a cleansing power has made me well. God resides in every thought, in every breath, in every cell. Trust this. Trust this. Trust this and know it is already true. Trust this. Trust this. Trust this and know that I am here with you. Trust this. Trust this. Trust this and know that you and I are one. Trust this. Trust this. Trust this and know the will of God be done. I bask in love. My heart is full in harmony with the divine. I see how beautiful I am. My magnificent design. I let God. I let go. I let go. I let God. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, welcome to this beautiful October Sunday morning here at Unity of Palm Harbor. We're so delighted to have you here in the congregation and those online as well. And I'd like to walk you through the process this morning because not only our service time, but the time immediately following the service. Our transition team has carefully researched and interviewed candidates for the senior minister position. And today is the first opportunity that we as congregants will have to hear and speak with the candidates that have been selected. You'll hear a little more about that from Kim and Mitchell later on. And Karen Miller will be introducing the speaker to you, and the candidate will deliver the Sunday message. And we prayerfully ask that you individually and collectively consider this sacred assignment as your commitment to the future of Unity of Palm Harbor. Also in between there, Peter Billingham, our board president, will be making an announcement. Now, immediately following the service, which will continue as live streaming so our folks at home can see it, you will have a time to ask questions of our speaker. Now, here in the congregation, we have put out 3x5 cards, and hopefully you got a pencil when you came in. For broadcast and recording purposes, because we will be continuing that portion of it, we ask our in-house congregants to please use the 3x5 cards to write your questions down. There's going to be a question and answer session after the service, and they will be collected at the end of the service so our moderator can read them. We ask, please, one question per card, and try to limit your wording. Now, and if we have duplicate questions, we will collect them together. And so for people viewing at home, you can type your questions in the comments section on YouTube, and we will convey those to the moderator as well. Any questions on the process? All right, and when service is over, if you can't stay for any reason and you have a card, leave it on the seat and we will pick it up so we get your questions as well. And now I'd like to invite you to just turn within for a moment of prayer. And as we come into this sacred time, we are guided by that power and presence of Spirit. And we open our hearts to the divine guidance for us to fulfill the sacred duty we are charged with. And we know as we come together as one in your holy name that our speaker today has also prayerfully considered this as their sacred duty. We continue to be grateful for all of our blessings, for the blessings of your wisdom, and we know that as the divine order unfolds in this process, that we say, thank you, God. I release this word to your perfect fulfillment. And so it is. Amen. And now, music.
It's so easy to let go. Let the word be the way it wants to flow. Let my heart speak the truth I long to know. It's so easy to let go. Rest your heart in the gentle arms of love. Perfect trust in guidance from above. Letting all your opinions melt away, loving every little part of every day. 'Cause it's so easy to let go. Let the word be the way it wants to flow. Let my heart speak the truth I long to know. It's so easy to let go. Life is peaceful when you don't need to be right. Give it up 'cause it hurts too much to fight. Take a walk in another person's shoes. Make a choice where nobody has to lose. 'Cause it's so easy to let go. Let the word be the way it wants to flow. Let my heart speak the truth I long to know. 'Cause it's so easy to let go. Learn to love and you'll never be alone. Every place that you go will feel just like home. Thank your God for the moments that you live. Thank you, God, for the many ways to give. 'Cause it's so easy to let go. Let the word be the way it wants to flow. Let my heart speak the truth I long to know. 'Cause it's so easy to let go. It's so easy to let go.
Thank you, Joy. That was beautiful. And good morning to everybody here.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, this, I swear it's not too late.
Trick chat.
Thank you. And now Terrell has a song he wrote called The Light I See. He's going to take a minute to change guitars.
It's really good to see you all here. There is a light I see in you, from deep within it's shining through. In your heart, through your eyes, this light reveals what's inside. Asleep for now, but soon to rise, dazzling like the sun. The light of Christ, the hope of glory, here in everyone. What I see in you is in me, it has to be, for we are all one. The very best news that we could know, when we open our hearts, it begins to show. And with this light we'll find our way, as we shine for each other. We will find that we've received what we've given to another. And even if it seems to be our darkest hour, the light dissolves the darkness using love's great power, love's great power. And like the sun, we love when we shine when we love is true. We truly are the Son of God, if only we let it come through. And with this light we find our way, as we shine for each other. We will find the pleasure of sharing love with each other. There is a light shines in you from deep within. It's shining through, and in your heart, through your eyes, this light reveals what's here inside.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Kim and Mitchell, and I have a few things to tell you this morning. Our flowers, which I had the privilege of arranging. The transition team has decided to dedicate our flowers to today's special speaker, Reverend Tracy Quillen. Now I'm going to invite our board chairperson up front to tell you a special announcement, and then we will have further announcements from me.
Thank you, Kimmin. Well, good morning. It's such a pleasure to see all these faces that we haven't seen for months. This is nice. And welcome to everybody back home. So glad to have you all here with us today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to make a few thank yous. First, for your continued support for our Feast program, the collection of food out here. This is an ongoing project, folks. It's been going on for years. It's just that now it's even getting more important. There's a lot of suffering in our community, and this is a great community project that we've taken on. So next time you're in Publix, Winn-Dixie, wherever, you see one of those BOGO deals, take advantage of it, throw a couple extra things into your basket, bring it to the church here on Sundays, or to the church on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays between 9 and 12. It's greatly appreciated. Also, we appreciate your continued support for this ministry. The board has had some challenges, as you can imagine, as attendance dropped off, as did revenues. Fortunately, we have some deep pockets, and we do have some savings put aside for such a day. But if you feel free to help us out a little bit extra, it's all well appreciated. Thank you so much for that. And now I do have a special announcement. Reverend Bob, are you watching? It has everything to do with you. It's all about you. We have not forgotten that you are leaving, and we have not forgotten that it requires a celebration. Now, we had some issues to face, like finding a venue that was open, and then finding people that wanted to sit down and get all together. So what we have come up with is a celebration that will be held here right in the sanctuary with some music by our musicians, some presentations, some awards, maybe some special guests, that sort of a thing. Circle this date. It is Saturday, the 5th of December at 3 o'clock. Now, those of you that are a little nervous about meeting in communal setting like this, we also made arrangements to have some outside activity. The primary one is going to be a car parade, okay? So we're going to organize our cars out here, drive by, wave to Reverend Bob, who will be out there, and you can throw kisses and give him cards and loves other elements of celebration for him. We kind of look at this as a celebration of life, yet the victim is still here. So please circle that date. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. There's no food involved, so it's just strictly fellowship and showing our love for Reverend Bob. So please plan on attending. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Well, as you all know, we have a very special speaker today, and next Sunday we have another special speaker. And another one of our candidates for the position of senior minister, Reverend Harold Correa, will be visiting us, and he will give the message and the meditation. So plan once again on attending, or plan to view it on YouTube so that you will be able to see Reverend Harold. And now we're going to have the daily word. So this is the beginning of the meditational aspect of our service. So I invite you to settle deeply into your chair and make sure that your laps are unencumbered if you so choose, and listen to our daily word. The special word for today is illumination. Our affirmation is, I am illumined by the light of God. The light of God within me illuminates my mind and heart and shines a light on the wisdom that guides me and the love that comforts me. Divine illumination removes the shadows of insecurity and doubt that may darken my mind and constrict my heart. The illuminating light of Spirit frees me from the limitations of time and moves me into the eternal now. Communing with the infinite presence that is within me and all around me, I shine with the light of God. With peace in my heart, I know that the intuitive guidance of divine illumination will emerge into my awareness as needed throughout my day. And from Ephesians 1, verse 18, we read, so that with the eyes of your heart enlightened, you may know what is the hope to which he has called us, and what are the riches of his glorious inheritance among the saints. And we will have the chairperson of our transition team to introduce our special speaker.
Good morning. I am Karen Miller, and I'm on your board of trustees, and I have had the honor of being the chair of our transition team, and this is really an exciting day. Thank you. Our team has been working very hard for the last 5 months to help us find the very, very best next senior minister for our congregation, our wonderful congregation. We are in the middle of our transition period. But Reverend Bob, I understand, is getting toward the end of his transition period, and I understand that he has been packing up his office and really getting ready to leave. And so it's time for us to really consider our next phase. But in the meantime, I would like to first thank the members of our transition team. We have had many good meetings together and times together on Zoom. We are getting to know each other really well, and those people have worked really hard on your behalf. They are Conferlee Carney, who is another board member, Mary Ellen Shadow, Steve Kraut, Kim and Mitchell, Reverend Carol O'Connell, who is a consultant to our group, and Reverend Marilyn Earhart, who has been especially gracious and generous with her energy and time. And I would also like to thank you, our members here and at home, because you have been engaged in this process and participated very well in our congregational survey about the issues related to our next senior minister. We are very, very privileged to have your input, and as Reverend O'Connell is often want to tell us, the choice of a senior minister is the selection process involving the whole congregation. It is our choice as a membership, and we need to take our responsibilities seriously in this regard. So now I would like to introduce you to our invited candidate, Reverend Tracy Quillen. It's really fun to call you Reverend. Yes. Reverend Quillen is known to many of us because she was an intern here at Unity last year. In June, Reverend Quillen was ordained as a Unity minister with a master's in divinity, and she is a graduate of Kennesaw State University with a BA in business and marketing, and spent some time in her career in banking and finance. She has been active in Unity for over 30 years, and she has experience with Unity Worldwide Ministries as a speaker and a teacher. Her home church has been Unity of North Atlanta. She has been a board member there and on many committees, and a prayer chaplain. She has certifications in pastoral education and congregational meditation and negotiation and conflict resolution. Reverend Quillen, we are so glad to have you here with us today. We look forward to your message, which is called Radiating the Light Within Outward. And we will begin with Reverend Quillen's leading us in our meditation. Reverend Quillen.
It's so good to see familiar faces, and it is so good to see people that maybe I didn't meet my first 4 months here, and we'll see where this journey takes us. So at this moment in time, if you will, feel deeply and possibly close those outer eyes. Allow that breath to come in fully, even if you're masked. Just take that in. Let us be centered in this radiance right here, in this holy sanctuary at Unity of Palm Harbor. Let us connect heart to heart. Let us put all differences aside. Let us truly feel into this holy moment. This moment I will call the God moment. As Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, said, God is love. The I am that we heard about in the music, the I am wisdom. I am love. The I am that flows in and through each one of us as that divine expression of the wholeness of us unified in spirit, that we reach a greater understanding even when we're not sure. Even when we're not sure, we can hold that high, radiating light with one another and be connected in that heart space beyond the physical world. So let's take this time together now and just feel into what is our message. What is coming through for you to share? What is coming through for you to know your own divine order, that order of choice, that order of where we go when we choose or not to react to what others say or do. Because if we're going to claim that we are centered in the oneness, then we can see beyond those differences. And let us just go into that space. Breathe deeply in that space for just a few moments. Now. Listen to the beautiful connection in our quiet time right here. As we open our minds, we open our hearts. We've heard our message, and if you haven't, you can come back to this still place in your mind's imagination at any time. At any time. And know that we are whole and that we hold that highest radiating light for each other. And with this, we know that we are so incredibly grateful for everyone who physically showed up in here today and everyone across the airwaves that said, yes, yes, I want to be a part of this process. And I share my energy with you as you share your energy with me. And we know the right and perfect outcome is already done, affirming it is so, affirming it is so. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for all of these blessings. And so it is. Amen.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there is no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying if we care enough for the living. Make a better place for you and for me. If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel fear or dread. Fear or dread, we are the living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing. So make a better world, make a better world, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying if you care enough for the living. Make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. Then why do we keep strangling life, wound this earth, crucified soul? Though it's plain to see, this world is heavenly. Be God's glow. We can fly so high, let our spirits never die. In my heart, I feel you are all my brothers. Create a world with no fear. Together we'll cry happy tears. See this nation turn swords into their plowshares. We could really get there if you cared enough for the living. Make a little space to make a better place. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If we care enough for the living, we'll make it a better place for you and for me. We'll make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If we care enough for the living, we'll make it a better place for you and for me. Make it a better place for you and for me. Thank you so much.
That was fabulous. Joy sent me a little note.
It was a premiere
Oh,
performance,
thank
so I
you.
hope it was close.
Fabulous, fabulous. She sent me a little note and she goes, I hear you're coming. How can I support you in music? And I threw a couple ideas out and that's the one I wanted. So how is that for Synchro Divinity? Beautiful, thank you, thank you. Because that's what I think, and this is a precipice of where we are right now. We're in this place and time and space that we can create exactly what we want our world to be. We have enough of the naysayers, and we have enough of the people who are telling us what we can't do. So how about what we want to do, what we want to create, that we can each be in a place and walk in radiance. We can walk with joy. We can walk in such a way that when someone needs help, we want to be there for them. This is something that I've been learning in this kind of time in between of what's next after being ordained. And I've been working with a group, a national group, and most of it's companion care, where I'm sitting with people who are beginning to go through memory issues. And it's given me an opportunity to learn about our elders. Our elders are so wise, and they're so recognized in so many different areas, like our indigenous tribes. But sometimes in the world, it feels to me, and I witnessed this as I took this beautiful 88-year-old to get her hair cut, and she was absolutely scared, as some people are right now. And of course, I took her to my hairdresser, and we went to the very edge of the salon where nobody else was. And I watched this woman who was fearful, literally, about coming into a space that might be with too many people because she might be a little bit fragile. And instead, they blessed her. You know, shampooing a woman's hair, you think that's not a big deal. But when you haven't had human touch, it's a big deal. When they cut away 9 months, 6 months of the gray, and I watched her sit taller in the chair. And it was really important to her to feel good about where she was coming from, simply because she was coming to Florida to visit a son and some grandchildren she hadn't seen in a while. So this woman who was a little bit fearful of what the outer world looked like, if we just take time, if we take time and we recognize and see the divinity within them, and we hold them up and we support them, it doesn't have to be just our elderly. It can be anybody in this room who just needs a little extra help. Make this world a better place. As I was preparing for this talk, I love many of our wisdom teachers, and one of them, of course, is Rumi. And Rumi says, that which you are seeking is already seeking you. Well, we can get a little biblical, and Jeremiah says it in a little bit different way. One of my favorite sayings, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Well, that's exactly my path right now, coming to visit you guys. And what most of you in here know, I had the deep honor to share about 4 months with you. And what some of you may not know, I went to lunch with certain people. I went to dinner with certain people. I went golf cart riding at Christmas with certain people. And so it was a fun experience of community. And when I first came and Bob and I were talking, I said, do you have a library? Have y'all been in Bob's office? Before he cleaned it out, he opened up the closet doors, and every single shelf was caked with books, right? Well, for someone who loves to get into the head and the mind, I mean, I was like in heaven, and I thought, okay. And I was staying at someone's condo here in the area, and I thought, I'm just gonna get involved in the books. And this is a conversation with Bob, and he went, oh, you won't have any problem. When you come here, you're gonna meet the most fabulous people, and they're gonna be a part of your life. And they're going to be curious about you, and they're going to support you on your path. And so what unfolded? exactly what Reverend Bob said. And then we have the musicians here who come from the heart space, and they tell their stories in words. You know, that is one of our biggest things that we say in Unity is how words have power. So when you're on your social media and you're deciding what your voice is going to say, listen to the ripple effect. Because we all have a right to stand in our power and to take a stand. And this too shall pass. And what's left? So something I really enjoyed this year, which I was a little bit surprised about. I'm not necessarily a huge, reality TV fan, but you might know America's Got Talent. Do y'all recognize that one? So usually they have magicians. I think a magician won one year, and they've had this incredible acrobats, and of course they've had song. Do you know who the winner was this year? Brandon Leak. Have y'all heard this name? So he wins in the power of words. I thought, man, that is right down our alley. That's what we teach. What you think about, what you say, you give power to. What you create. And we talk about in Unity, the creation process actually happens twice. We first get that idea that I say and claim is part of the divine mind, the larger connection in the universe. So first we get the idea, and then we bring it into fruition. Then we manifest it in the physical world. So in Unity we say it happens twice. So I want to share something that Brandon said in one of his final, actually it's been a recent posting, because I think his words have great power. And I think this applies to many of us. It certainly does to me. I had genuine hopes and desires to just try to change the world with my words, hoping that the stories I shared would be enough to change the lives of people around the world, and most importantly, those around me. Somewhere between all of the politics, the world forcing me to grow old, not grow up, big difference, and the weight of responsibility, I lost touch with who I was. A young man bold enough to actually dream, bold enough to think that he could actually help make the world a better place, despite how small he is. And I see what the Bible means when it says, remain childlike. The gall of a child to think they could create a large enough ripple in time, in the mere blink of an existence, to genuinely believe that we are not stuck where we are, but that we as a world can be so much more, and I can play a role in that. And that amazes me, the beautiful and delicate nature of being an optimistic realist. So when Joy had the little conversation with me, and I said, yes, let's look at Michael Jackson's Heal the World. What role can we play today in healing this world, regardless of what happens in 30 to 45 to 60 days? And this morning it came to me really clear, like a dream almost. And it said, you know what? You need to put this thought out there. And it might be the next big topic, the next big Sunday workshop or sermon. But truly, when you get in that quiet space and you ask, what can I do? What can I do to make this world a better place? I may not change your mind and your political views. I may not even agree with your political views. What is mine to do? What do we talk about in Unity? Anything that is an outer expression first is from within. So if we don't like what's going on out here, guess whose job it is to clean it up in here? That's our responsibility. That's the place we come to and we say, seriously, what can I do to make this a better place? And I think about things like anybody who spent some time around Christmas here, Judith does the 12 powers. And I had kind of this little vision that I'm standing in front of this big field. And the field has rocks and some boulders and some brambles and maybe some sticking points in there. And I thought, what is that a metaphor for? So if I go first into setting an intention to create the dream path, to hold a vision of what I want my world to look like, I might have to do some house cleaning first. And if I'm standing before a field of infinite potential, infinite possibilities, and yet there are brambles in the way, what does that represent? Old thoughts? Things that no longer serve us? Maybe things that served us for a while, but we've learned something different. We've been exposed to something different. And now we're ready to step outside of that comfort level and till up that field. We want fertile ground. We want to plant seeds that benefit all of us, that bring our communities together, that we feel safe and felt and heard. And how do we do that? We might have to hoe the ground a little bit. We might have to put on our gloves, develop thick skin, push away things that no longer serve us. We may have to examine childhood beliefs we didn't even know we had. These implicit biases. Uh-oh, big words, here we go. We're going to do some workshop kind of stuff on that. I want us to be really clear about who we bring forward in the world, that we set our intentions, that we use things like the 12 powers. We use wisdom to discern what is ours to do. We love openly. If you don't look like me, you choose a partner differently than I do, you have different political beliefs, and I love you anyways. We have all of these tools inside of us. We have the divine order that Kimon spoke about this morning, and that's the power of choice, the power of how we respond to outside influences. And what do we hold to be true for us? What is your truth? And not that you can't stand firm and tall in that, like the beautiful woman as she got her hair cut. And she recognized that woman again in the mirror who birthed 4 sons and had numerous grandchildren. And she knew she mattered because someone took the time to bring that beauty back into form. And you know I don't mean physical beauty. I mean the one where we stand beside each other, that we encourage each other, that we walk arm in arm with each other, even if you believe differently than I do. Because that's what unity talked about anyways. From the very beginning, the Fillmores never wanted a church. They wanted it to be a teaching. They said, you go to your church in the morning and you come see us in the afternoon and let us study at a deeper level beyond the physical meaning. Because unity doesn't look at the Bible as a literal translation. We look at it allegorically. What does it represent in our lives today? What does it mean for us today? And as many people are in this room, as many people that are outside this room, if we sat down and had a conversation, I bet we'll come up with many different examples. And some things will serve us. And some things maybe not so much. But I think it's an opportunity now that we go inside and we say, what is mine to do? What connection do I have with the radiance that I can bring forward? Because it serves no one to keep your light under a bushel. No one. So in doing these things, we do have the tools. We have our own wisdom, love. We have life that is vibrant, that we can create it as we want it to be, not as somebody imposes on us. Because our reality is created by what we think first, and then what we demonstrate, in our lives. So I appreciate when Rumi says, that which you want is already seeking you. How does that feel? That which you want today, first you have to name it, you got to identify it, you have to claim it, and you have to put some energy behind it. And when you speak your words, they have power. They have power to change the universal flow in your mind. And how people react is where they're coming from with their lens. Do y'all remember last fall we did the Conscious Living book, that one, and it really kind of challenged some people to look at some different examples in their lives. But it's all about how we react to the stimuli coming towards us. And what do you want to do with that? What do you want to do to create a better world, a more perfect place where we can think differently and still support each other? And I think that's what we're looking at, maybe more than 30, 60, 90 days, but we can declare that whole as one, that we are here to support each other. We are truly here to love each other. So hold that vision with me, if you will, that we can create in the next 30, 60, 90 days unity. We do it every Sunday. And many of us do it many times during the week. But there is a physical recalculation when the world is crazy and you go, breathe through it. That's why we set that intention when we start our meditations and our prayer. Everything can be chaos and mayhem. And our job, check in. Where is that alignment? What is mine to do? Go into that still space. And if you listen to Eric Butterworth, one of our gurus of unity, he said you can be at a traffic light. Take that breath in and reset. Take that breath in and reset. So I invite you today to radiate that inner glow that you've already tapped into, that you can access at any time, and you bring it outwards into the world. And with this, I greet you in namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. That was just beautiful. Well, now we're going to have music in a few minutes, and we're going to do our offertory. But I just want to remind you that at the end of the service, if you will have your cards ready, we will pick those up if you have questions to ask of Tracy. And we're going to take a few minutes at the end of the service, after the service is over, to place chairs up here, get the microphones ready for the question and answer period. So just, bear with us for a couple of minutes when we do that, and we will reset the video as well and the broadcast. So right now we just take a moment to turn within, knowing that power and presence with us guides us to our time of giving and receiving. And so as we repeat the affirmation, we know that the abundance is here at Unity of Palm Harbor. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are so blessed. Thank you.
power of the sun, there's enough for everyone right now. There is nothing better, there is nothing more. Open up your heart and open up the door. Everything we think, feel, hear, and see, made out of love, 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 shining out through you and me. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. It's the power of the sun, there's enough for everyone right now. Everything around me, everything I think I see is just a projection of what's going on with me. I can choose to see it darkly, I can choose to see it bright. When I choose to see the love in me, it's love I'll see. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. It's love, love, love. It's the power of the sun, there's enough for everyone right now. You'll see it when you know it, so be it and you'll show it. We are it, so what are we waiting for? Hey. There is no separation, in all that is. Love expressing love, you can be sure of this. Everything that is, everything we see comes out of love, 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 shining out of you and me. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. It's the power of the sun, there's enough for everyone right now. Right now.
Thank you. And now we're going to do Let There Be Peace on Earth. And also just a reminder that there are offering bags by the door, and as well in the bookstore they will take your offerings, credit card, check.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Beautiful. And now the next part of the process, I guess, is going to continue. Thank you
So
all
just
so
chill
much.
for a minute, we'll get going.